Zelda universe, my name is Pani and today I will be your host for the Mailbag. Hombre has very nicely allowed me to host this week's Mailbag. Unfortunately on last week's Mailbag there were not a huge amount of questions asked. I think I counted 3. And 2 of them were sort of similar, but I will do my best to make this an entertaining and slightly informative video from last week's Mailbag questions, and this week I urge you strongly to leave questions in the comments so that we can continue to make longer certainly, and more entertaining and informative Mailbag videos. Because I am a child of the technological age, I have loaded up, preloaded up, I was prepared, I have loaded up the questions from this week's video onto my tablet, which is very, very thoughtful of me if I do say so myself. So the first question this week was from BallsBaby123, it's a very nice name. Now that the next Zelda games will be in high definition on the Wii U, do you think that they, Nintendo, will ever make another cartoonish Zelda game? I think they will. And I should expand on that. I do like the cartoonish games. Personally, I'm a big fan of the style of games, specifically the Wind Waker, Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks. I really enjoyed that really cartoony style. I thought it really offered... It was the same Zelda experience, but it was also completely different, and I really enjoyed that. The fact that it kind of took Zelda as we knew it and turned it on its head and said that, you know, we can make a cartoony looking game, but still have a Zelda serious storyline. So, and also on that note, considering that Skyward Sword is sort of a medium between you know, Twilight Princess style graphics and that Wind Waker style, the cartoony one, the fact that even in the age of the Wii U, when Nintendo are competing with the HD consoles on the 360 and the PS3, the fact that they still made Skyward Sword, even at that time, it does lead me to believe that I think they will continue to make cartoonish games, but probably not solely. I think they'll still continue to make the real... They'll sort of aim for the, not completely lifelike, but they will sort of aim to have the more lifelike graphics as well. I think Nintendo's pretty good. I think they'll come to a nice balance, and we'll have a nice mix of really up there, really high definition graphics that do really show the sort of lifelike appeal that they can do for the series, as well as those nice cartoonish graphics that we all, well, a lot of us have come to love. The second question in this week's Mailbag video comes from DragonChi26. My question for you guys is this: assuming that the next Zelda game will be for the 3DS, which is a solid bet, what style will it be in? By that I mean both art style and whether or not it will be a top-down perspective. And where would you guess that this game would likely be placed timeline-wise, given what has been done thus far and what has the potential to be expanded upon? I guess, yeah, I'm probably going with betting that the next Zelda game will be on 3DS, like you said. Because obviously they've had more time to prepare for the 3DS. It's been out a lot longer than the Wii U has. Although I am really excited to see the next Zelda game on Wii U. I am also looking forward to a 3DS one, especially because this is a completely personal opinion. But Ocarina of Time 3D sort of underwhelmed me. Not that it wasn't a great game. It was obviously Ocarina of Time is a great story. The graphics were beautiful, but the fact that it was the same game that I've played, you know, that I've spent so many hours playing. Just kind of brought down the appeal for me, which is not, it's not a criticism on the game itself, just the way that I sort of took it. But based off that, yeah, I would like to see a 3DS game first of all. I don't think they'll be going for top-down, and I don't really have any sort of theories as to why that would be, but I mean, when you say top-down, I assume you mean sort of Phantom Hourglass style, not completely Link to the Past style, if you know what I mean. Just because I think Nintendo have probably sort of outgrown that completely top-down style, because it was a sort of, let's face it, that complete top-down view. It is sort of outdated at this point in time. Not that it's not a really good way to play a game, but just the fact that they are going to be competing with, you know, the PS Vita and, like I said, you know, the 360 and the PS3 and the next iterations of those. I feel like at this point in time they're probably not going to do a complete top-down view. In terms of if it'll be more like say Skyward Sword compared to our Spirit Tracks. I think they've had mild success with what they've been doing with the portable games at this point on the DS. But I mean, Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass weren't really received as well as the console Zeldas. I mean, they definitely have their fan followings and Zelda fans have played them and enjoyed them, but they've never really gained the same sort of respect that fans had for even Skyward Sword or like Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time, those games. Not to mention the earlier ones as well. I'm not really sure where we are timeline based, but I'm thinking that they might continue with this sort of DS style of mid top-down, just because, like I said, I mean, it does seem to be working for them. And it's probably something that is a little easier to control on the DS, but it's a little hard for me to say as well, because obviously Ocarina of Time 3D came out. They've worked with that already. They've already made a Zelda game that didn't, on the 3DS, that didn't rely on touchscreen for movement, and I think that's going to be, it's sort of a toss-up at this point. I don't really have an opinion, to be honest. I'm not sure if they'll do a top-down or a sort of more, like, regular style Zelda. I'm sort of hoping for a regular style one. I think it'd be nice to sort of mix it up on the 3DS. In terms of where it's going to be based on the timeline, I think I'd actually be interested to see some late timeline stuff. I mean, I'm not sure what timeline theories you all subscribe to, and personally I'm not set on one particular timeline. I've got basic ideas but nothing set in stone. But I would be interested to see something that does fall later on in the timeline, something that almost concentrates on, not futuristic style, but something that does sort of concentrate on the future of Hyrule and just things that we haven't seen before. However, I would also be a huge fan of another Termina game, because I loved Majora's Mask. I think it was a great game and they did something really different and it really worked for them. I mean, I've got a video on my channel where I talk about how much I love Majora's Mask for like 12 minutes, but you know, I really like that game. I think it'd be great to see another game based in Termina as well. I'm not sure, they would have to sort of make it really well though, not to let down all of the really big Majora's Mask fans, but I'd be keen to see either a late timeline Hyrule video or definitely a Termina video. Game. Late Hyrule game or Termina game. Our final question for this week's mailbag comes from Futurized, who asks, "Good morning, Zelda Universe mailbag. I have a question for you guys. If you could live in any location of any Zelda game with one of the Zelda characters from all the games, where would that be, and with whom, and why? Can't wait to find out. Future." Thank you, Future. I would probably have to go with either, I've been mentioning these games so much throughout this video, but either the Lost Woods in Ocarina of Time, or just Outfall Island in The Wind Waker. I guess I'd pick one. Probably Outset Island. Probably Outset Island, just because I think, in terms of making a living for myself, Outset Island's probably going to be a little easier to work with. There's more people there. People age there. It's easier to kind of deal compared to the Lost Woods, where sure, it's fun, they have their own little thing going, but I think I'd be kind of aging and growing up, and I'm already like twice their age. I can't really deal with that. It'd be kind of weird. But probably Outset Island from The Wind Waker. And what character would probably be... Is it bad if I say Zelda? Do you expect that answer? I think that's too easy. Maybe from the same game, even maybe Ariel. I thought she was a really cute character, Ariel. I think she's adorable. But also, actually, maybe Tail from Majora's Mask. Not Tail, Tattle. I don't know how to pronounce it. Tattle from the fairy from Majora's Mask, because I thought she was nice. She was like naughty but less annoying and made a good companion the entire way through. So I guess that's my final answer. I would live on Outset Island from The Wind Waker with Tattle the fairy from Majora's Mask. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been the Zelda Universe Mailbag with me, Pani. If you would like to see more of me, you can check the description of this video for a link to my channel, Superpaniland. Please don't forget to leave your own comments for next week's mailbag in the comments of this video, and hopefully I'll see you guys again soon for another mailbag video. Bye!